This is Oklahoma's own News on 6 in high definition.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight is 4 escaped inmates on the loose. The Caddo County Sheriff's Office says the inmates escaped from the Caddo County Detention Center west of Oklahoma City. News on 6 reporter Heather Hope has the new information on these potentially armed and dangerous escapees.
So far, no sightings, no.
Just before 3 a.m. Sunday, 4 men broke out of the Caddo County Jail in Anadarko. They went through a small door above their showers and crawled their way out.
Just a small area. Somehow they was able to get the door off of the hatch and crawl in this space. They kind of followed the pipe to where it came down into a room, which is outside actually the jail.
Authorities are searching for Dylan Ray 3 Irons, Prime Brown, Anthony Mendonca, and Tristan Cheadle. 3 had been sentenced and were awaiting transfer to a state prison. They were convicted on drug charges. The other is a federal inmate who was awaiting trial on a gun charge. Statewide law enforcement were searching all highways and county roads until 9 Sunday morning, when they began checking homes of friends and family of the inmates. It was startling news for Anadarko residents.
I'm more alert today, more on my toes today whenever we were out here working on this. Also, I have that concern of not being safe at all, because you never know what they could get a hold of or if somebody's helping them at all.
Heather Hope, News on 6 tonight.
A man is murdered in a Tulsa motel parking lot and police still are looking for answers. Tulsa police say they found the 37-year-old victim shot at least once in the chest just after midnight. He was in the driver's seat of a car parked at the Studio 6 motel near 41st and Memorial.
That's a 4-door Chevy, I believe late 90s model.
Police were able to talk to the victim on scene, but he was rushed to St. Francis where we're told he died. His identity has not been released yet. Police have very little information right now. If you know anything that could help, call Crime Stoppers. A local addiction recovery center may be forced to close. The ranch where the faith-based program runs is up for sale, and the center may not be able to afford to buy the land to continue operating. New tonight, News on 6 reporter Tony Russell spoke with the ministry where it's reaching out to the community for help. Tony?
Tara, the Lifegate Freedom Recovery Ministry is located on leased land in West Sapulpa. The center says the landlord has given it 90 days to buy that land for $600,000 or compete with other buyers.
My heart is here at this place. It changed who I was.
This recovery center treats people who are at the end of the road when it comes to drug addiction.
Night and day to where I was at.
Dane Stratton is a recovering addict in the program. At one point, he was walking the streets of Tulsa without a home. Stratton and other members in the 6-month recovery program know their treatment center is facing a difficult decision.
A lot of the guys, do nothing but pray because that's, no one wants to lose this place.
The ranch's property is for sale. The founder says they don't have the money or support right now to buy back the land it's leased for 4 years. Kevin Day says he doesn't know what they'll do without a place to help his members in the program get back on their feet.
I really pray and hope that somehow we can own this property, and that is, we can own it, then other people can become involved and help us with the building up of this property into what it needs to be.
Clayton Covington went through the program twice. He's now an associate director at the ranch.
My heart hurts for the people that we wouldn't be able to help if we weren't here.
The ranch focuses on rehabilitating addicts with faith-based support.
We don't provide a place for them to stay. We provide a place for them to change their life if they want.
Now that I know what life is supposed to be like, with God helping me, with leading me, with, everyday work, I wouldn't change this sober life for anything.
30 men are in treatment right now at the Lifegate Freedom Recovery Ministries ranch. If you want to reach out to them, we have a link to our story on newson6.com. Tony Russell, News on 6 Tonight.
Countless Americans nationwide are discouraged that they haven't been able to sign up for health insurance. The Obama administration is promising to fix the new health care website by the end of November, but a group of Senate Democrats is looking for more.
What I'm proposing is that we extend the period in which people can enroll so we can make sure we get as many people who want health insurance able to enroll and be able to be covered.
Contractors have pointed to last-minute design changes and insufficient testing for the glitches. The Obama administration has not yet revealed how many people have signed up for medical insurance under the Affordable Care Act.
Today was the last fall day of its kind we're going to see for a while. Warm, windy and wet conditions on their way. But for today, beautiful weather, highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s, 68 the high in Tulsa. We also had a high of 68 degrees reported by Larry Biddle in Okmulgee. This evening, temperatures are cooling off fairly quickly in some cases. Oilton at 38, but notice just to the south, Bristow at 55. Moisture's returning to the north, and that's going to level out these temperature falls into the mid to upper 40s for lows. 50 degrees in Tulsa. With the moisture return means fog potential tonight. We'll also talk about a severe weather threat and also our Halloween forecast in just a bit. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike. A Green Country charity celebrates a milestone despite recent tragedy. The Bartlesville Habitat for Humanity finished its 60th home today. News on 6 reporter Grant Sloan tells us why this one holds special meaning.
The Bartlesville Area Habitat for Humanity builds 2, maybe 3 homes a year, so getting to home number 60 is impressive in itself. But this one behind me was built less than a month removed from a devastating fire at a supply warehouse. It's a special day for Roger and Cindy Elks. They helped build their daughter's Habitat for Humanity home 2 years ago. Now they're finally moving into their own.
Oh, we're ecstatic. It's just a long time coming.
The Elks were helping construct their home when a fire tore through a warehouse. The nonprofit keeps supplies in back on October 2nd.
I didn't think about our screens for our windows. I didn't think about any of that stuff. I just thought about all the equipment and the man hours.
Less than a mile away, the warehouse that was gutted by fire is still standing. The foundation is solid, but the rest is unusable.
And to see the devastation and to see the things we needed to replace, that was difficult.
When we last spoke with Bill Millis, he gave us a tour of the burnt remains, everything needed for future homes. That's what makes the completion of this one so special.
It's always good to be able to celebrate rather than cry.
Millis says since the fire, they've unloaded 10 dumpster loads full of destroyed supplies. Now, it's believed that the fire started on this back wall and was at its hottest. As you can tell, it even melted these steel beams. But at this point, the cause is still undetermined.
The community and the local businesses, the Tulsa Habitat affiliate, they've all rallied around us.
Charlotte Dossis is the president for the Bartlesville Area Habitat for Humanity. She says one of their other warehouses has been turned into makeshift storage for donated items from the community. Dossis says the fire was a setback, but that it increased awareness for their organization.
It's going to be probably even better, so I think we're going to come out ahead.
The Bartlesville Area Habitat for Humanity says its motto has been to just keep moving forward like nothing happened. And it's done just that. Just a few blocks from here, it's already cleared off a lot for home number 61. Grant Sloan, News on 6 tonight.
There are all kinds of scary beasts at the zoo, but tonight we're not just talking about the animals. The Tulsa Zoo is a Halloween spook fest for their 24th annual Halloween. Every Halloween, the zoo transforms into a creepy but family-friendly trick-or-treating destination for many Green Country families.
It's a good vibe. Feels safe. It's fun, and like I said, it's just a lot of things for the kids to do. And we come here every year.
Every evening up through Halloween, the zoo will be happy to help your kids play princess, storm a castle, go on a swashbuckling adventure, and of course, fill those trick-or-treat bags. Looks like a lot of fun. Well, up next, a more than year-long bridge project kicks off tomorrow, and find out if it will affect your daily commute.
He really, truly is a lifesaver. And, and I thank God every day for him.
A family's four-legged friend does more than just sit and roll over. How he is actually this Oklahoma girl's guardian. There's a new detour starting in the morning that will affect how thousands of drivers get around the Sooner State. Tomorrow, crews will close off traffic to the Highway 151 bridge over the Keystone Dam. For a long time, the bridge has been kept open with patch jobs, but now it needs to be entirely replaced. An estimated 7,500 vehicles go over this bridge every day, but for the next 13 months, drivers will have to find another way to get over the lake. The bond between an owner and their dog can be a gorgeous thing, and it is for one Oklahoma girl, but she doesn't just depend on her dog to be her friend. He's actually a lifesaver. News on 6 reporter Deanne Stein has a story from one of Oklahoma's own.
4-year-old Kaylee Buckminster is like most kids her age. She loves to run and play outside, But unlike most 4-year-olds, Kaylee has had to grow up fast.
Okay, ready?
Learning how to survive with type 1 diabetes and celiac disease.
She's an amazing child. She has taken this on like a champion.
Kaylee wears an insulin pump.
It has to be strawberry pie.
And even knows what she can and cannot eat.
Because they have gluten.
But her blood sugar levels still have to be checked multiple times a day.
Are you ready to check?
A task that has become exhausting for her parents, Joy and Taylor.
And literally every single night for 3 years, we set an alarm clock for every 2 hours.
Until Memphis.
Having Memphis, it's just another set of eyes on her.
Or in Memphis's case, his nose, because Memphis is trained on scent, Kaylee's scent. And when the chemicals in her body change, he alerts her parents to check her blood sugar levels.
Good boy.
I think he brings out a part of all of us that, we didn't have before because we were always scared. And now we don't live with that fear anymore.
Memphis even goes to pre-K with Kaylee.
At first they just wanted to pet him, but after about a week they were real comfortable with him.
And while Memphis has settled in just fine too, he never gets too comfortable knowing he has to stay on guard and alert the teachers when it's time to check Kaylee.
He really truly is a lifesaver. And, I thank God every day for him.
Because Memphis is more than man's best friend, he's this little girl's guardian angel, Kaylee's keeper. Deanne Stein, News on 6 tonight.
That is absolutely amazing. Well, cool temperatures and clear skies combined for a great weekend on the Osage Casino Skycam network. But you might want to see if your Halloween costume is waterproof. Mike has an explanation up next in the forecast.
Moisture is returning to the Sooner State. We are seeing it drawn back to the north, and as such, the potential for fog is with us. Dense fog advisories up for much of central and southern Oklahoma. This does not include many of our counties, except for out by Kay County, but notice we do have some fog advisories as well in Arkansas, and the Weather Service may opt to add them for our area through the morning hours tomorrow. So nonetheless, I think fog might be an issue for some of us as we start our day Monday. Keep that in mind. Leave a little extra time for travel as that could be locally dense and causing some issues with quarter-mile or less visibilities. Now, fog is pretty hard to pick out on satellite here, at least with our data, but we do see some low clouds across southeastern Oklahoma. We're going to see that spreading to the north with time by tomorrow. Partly to mostly cloudy skies, warm and windy conditions as our next system begins to draw near. Right now, it's in the Pacific Northwest. It's got a long ways to reach us, but it's got a long-reaching influence, and a lead impulse will provide a chance of rain and storms as early as tomorrow night. So there it is, spinning across Oregon. It's going to take a track through the southwest into Colorado and eventually merging to the plains by Wednesday. Until then, we're just going to see the uptick in southerly winds drawing back the moisture, and that's going to lead to some rain chances. But for now, things are rather quiet. In fact, in Tulsa, clear skies at the moment, as seen from our fine airport parking camera. And at the airport, we've got a temperature of 49 degrees. Temperatures are going to start to level out as our dew point rises, as the moisture is being pulled up from the north. That will allow temperatures falling to kind of stall and possibly rise by the morning hours. In fact, some of these temperatures are the morning or the low that we're probably going to see for the night. All the way down to 38 in Bartlesville, but much warmer in the south where we have much higher moisture content in the air. 47 in Tahlequah, 41 degrees in Pryor. Tonight will be generally a bit mild, at least in areas to the south. Still some cool air remaining across far northeastern Oklahoma with lows in the low 40s. We'll be around 50 to start the day for Tulsa, 51 degrees down in McAllister. And during the day, clouds are on the increase along with our winds, and our temperatures are also going up. We're up to 75 by tomorrow afternoon, 75 in Bristow. Generally dry weather, but tomorrow afternoon we're watching for storms to form out west. These storms will be forming out near the boundary that we see moving through Kansas, also the dry line that will be forming by tomorrow afternoon across western Texas. And so tomorrow generally dry, but we'll see those storms kind of bubbling up there and pushing mainly across Kansas, but the southern edge of it hitting northeastern Oklahoma. So we have a moderate chance of storms into our Tuesday morning. That impulse passes by, but the main system is still well to the west in the Four Corners region. So here's kind of our rainfall timeline. We have kind of two peaks here. The first one's coming up by tomorrow evening, so 40% chance of rain and storms, a limited severe weather threat with that. And then the rain chances go way up on our Wednesday. That's when we have an 80% chance of heavy rain and the potential for a few severe storms with this event. The cold front will be passing through early Thursday morning, hopefully, at least as it appears right now, in time for Halloween. Severe weather threat tomorrow lies across northwestern Oklahoma into Kansas. A very limited threat here in northeastern Oklahoma during our evening and overnight hours, mainly for hail hail as our primary issue. Rainfall will be pretty heavy during the midweek period, up to an inch to an inch and a half of rain around Tulsa, higher than that to the north and also to the south as well. And Halloween Eve, not looking too bad. Lower 60s, rain should be over by then. Stay tuned though, this could always change with a light northwesterly wind. Tomorrow morning, watch out for the fog on your way into work. We'll have mild temperatures by noon, no more fog by then, but some low-lying clouds and 75 for our high. And on from there, we've got temperatures that will be awfully mild, 78 by Tuesday. Chance of rain kind of over for at least a period of the day, but it does look like we'll be left with low chances until Wednesday. That's when the rain chances spike. Heavy rainfall. We'll be talking about that threat of rain and storms, of course, through the next couple days.
All right, thank you so much. Stay tuned for the Oklahoma Ford Sport Blitz.